Welcome back! Now we've already had a peek in the behavior report section during the pages lecture when we looked at what pages your visitors like and dislike. But in this lecture we'll be diving deeper and looking at what happens when visitors land on a certain part of your website. How often do they stay and how often do they just exit compared to your site average? Understanding these kind of metrics can help you optimize your website and have visitors stay for longer, which of course results in higher quality traffic, more sales, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so let's dive in and understand your visitors. We're going to start by going into behavior because that's what we're talking about, understanding your visitors' behavior. Open it up and then go down to site content. And now we're going to go down to landing pages. So in the very early part of this course, we spoke about what a landing page actually is. Now it's a part of your page where they land, where they first end up, right? So if you land on the blog, then the blog becomes the landing page for this visitor. If they land on the home page, then the home page becomes the landing page of that visitor, etc. Okay, so we're looking at the landing pages and how effective they are. First thing we're gonna do is move to the right and make sure we have the dates correctly. If you come from the previous lecture, probably gonna have them between 2017 and 18. So date range, go to last 30 days and then click on apply. We always want the latest information of how they're performing right now. 30 days is a great sweet spot, 7 days is too little, and going, a year back, it's just not as accurate as a month, in my opinion. So we're gonna go down. We know this information, we've been through this information before, but there's something that we can do to make things a little different than before. We can look at comparisons, how well they're performing against each other. And in order to do that, we go up and we click on something right here called a comparison chart. So we're gonna click there, and now we're going to be looking at the pages, the landing pages with the highest sessions, and compare how their bounce rate is compared to average. Okay, so the right column compares to average. So this is going to be really important information because now we can see black on white how your different landing pages are doing when people land on them. How many people stay, how many people leave in accordance to your bounce rate. The first thing that really sticks out is that we're understanding the behaviors of the visitors here, that the homepage really isn't performing that well. And you have to ask the question, why? Why does the homepage have such a poor bounce rate compared to the rest of the website? Now, this is data that really sticks out and something that you want to do about. You always want to review the pages with a poor bounce rate and review the pages with a great bounce rate and ask the question, why? Why are they performing so well, or why are they performing so poorly? And while you're asking this question, also understand that intention matters. This bounce rate is fantastic, but once again, that's on the sign-in page. Doesn't really say that much, does it? So what this data tells me is that the home page, just like we've seen before, is not performing that well. And I would be looking over that and see, why do people leave? Is there something that's just not attractive? Is it too many products to choose from? Is it confusing somehow? And we also have to see, why is this performing so poorly? Why does this have such a high bounce rate? Well, we can check out the site and see if there's anything wrong with it by clicking there, and then we can see, aha, it's this page that has a missing page. It's just not working. So it makes sense that it has an above average bounce rate. So this is an amazing way to see how your website is performing on their landing pages when people land on these different pages, and then ask the question why. So this is for the bounce rate, but we can also look at different charts. For example, we've been talking about if you're running a blog or trying to build a brand, you want to look at the average session durations. Well, you can do that for the landing pages here by clicking, first of all, in this column, and then we're gonna go to average session duration. And remember, this is going to compare to your site average. You're getting some really good data here. So here we're getting some very interesting statistics. And first of all, you want to look at the page's intention and then see if that page reflects that intention well. Let's take the homepage, for example. If you've designed a quick homepage that's only meant to redirect your visitors to something else, then you'll want to see a lower average time on the homepage. Then this data is going to make sense. But if the reverse is true, if you've added a lot of material on this homepage, then you'll want to see statistics that's going to show that people are spending a lot of time in here. Now, the same goes for the checkout, the sign-in, and etc. Are people spending an abnormal amount of time in the checkout, for for example, is this unnecessarily complicated? Look for intention and ask the questions and investigate to make changes accordingly. So for example, if we would have an unusually long average session duration on the checkout, let's say we don't have the checkout here, it's going to be on another page, well, then that would probably mean that the checkout is unnecessarily complicated, because you don't want people to be spending an eternity in the checkout. You want them to check out so that, you receive the cash and they receive the product. That's going to be a quick process. So once again, we're noticing that there's a very low average session duration on this, and we know that's a broken page, so that's going to make a lot of sense. And we can also tell that the homepage has a poor average session duration. And from what I've seen on the homepage, if we check it out, there's actually quite a few things going on here. So there's no real reason for this homepage to have such a low average session duration. It's quite straight to the point. It gives a call to action. But still, you do have a couple of options, you do have a couple of things to check out. There's no reason why this should have such a poor average session duration compared to the other pages in here. So I would definitely investigate the homepage. Everything is giving signs that something is off there. And then if we look down, we have another page that also has a lower average session duration. We have to ask why. We can go and check out that page. And we can see, well, this page is missing as well. Google, what are you up to? What is going on? Maybe this is a product that they used to have and they've removed it. It might be whatever, but that really explains why there is a poor average session duration. And then we can see that those that have a better average session duration, such as the sign-in, well, it makes sense that it has a better average session duration on the sign-in because you're logging in. And then we can see the apparel, we can see the news section has a really great average session duration. So the news section is popular. This is all useful data for us to understand which landing pages are great. So if I understood this in my marketing, I would probably say, okay, then the news section is something that I am going to be marketing. I'm going to write content about this news section and maybe even make ads about this news section, because this is a place where people stay and that people enjoy. So that's for the landing pages. Now, we can also go down and check out the exit pages. Now, the landing pages are where people first land, the first page they see and how they react there. The exit pages are the pages where people most often exit, where they leave. So we want to get some statistics from here as well. And first of all, we have all of these great statistics. But if we want to have the comparison, just like before, we go up to the comparison chart right here, and then we change exits to percentage of exits. So now we're looking at, first of all, the top exits and then how many percentage of exits that's coming from there. Okay, so as we can see, we're getting data once again of how the homepage is performing, how many exit is getting, or percentage of the total exits. Clearly a lot people are exiting here. And also this page, which makes a lot of sense because we already saw that it was broken and people really like to stay here and check out the quick view. So people aren't leaving a lot from this page. They also aren't leaving a lot from the store, which is a really good sign, and they aren't leaving a lot from the basket. So from the data, when we're looking at the behavior of people on our website, we can see that there's nothing really that strange about the basket or the store. The store seems to be performing well, but there's something off about the homepage, and I would be checking that out. So using this sort of comparisons, you can really check out the page views, the exits, and look at percentages and compare to the site average to understand what people like and what people dislike so that you can make better decisions. Now, in the next lecture, we're going to be looking at comparing dates, so you can see how the website has been performing the previous year or even just month by month. And that's going to be really interesting because every sign we've seen so far is that the homepage is underperforming. So then you might also ask, well, was it performing better or worse last year? Has the homepage actually deteriorated? Because everything is telling us that the homepage isn't that great. People are bouncing from it, they aren't staying very long, and they like to exit from it. So in the next lecture, we're going to be comparing days to see, have you actually grown and are you actually moving your marketing and business in the right direction? See you in the next lecture.